have been a large number of railroads over the years that have operated the Sunset Gulch district of the country, ranging from when tracks were laid in the 1870s to the modern high-horsepower engines of today that operate the national park-owned rails. However, one railroad that has been a staple visitor to the Orange Sands has only recently been delegated to the railfan scrapbooks and patch booths of today. This is the story of a railroad that went through multiple challenges, many practical problems, saw success, but then saw a tragic end. This is the story of what many call the route of the rail. This is the story of Hankrail, from diesels to dust. The time was the late 1960s. Long hair was the norm, America's attention was at Vietnam, and the railroads at the time were struggling. Thus now the Pacific Railroad, a major carrier throughout the West, was beginning to abandon a branch line from Portland to Salt Lake City. This also included trackage rates over the prosperous Blacktooth line, which had a stringent requirement for using American Locomotive Company, or ALCO, locomotives. It was the time at the standard for the railroad. SP was leaving the ALCO scene and soon filed to abandon the line. Along came a pioneering Hank Dynas, who bought the railroad from a scrap company for only $1,000 and purchased 4 used RS3 locomotives, repainted them into a classical 3-striped paint scheme throughout the middle of the hood. His railroad soon was at work upgrading track, placing bids for cars, and servicing the industries the SP neglected throughout the 1970s. Fast forward to 1980. Hank D. Railroad Company was soon looking to further expand their industry and to be more modern in the face of their shareholders, soon sported a bolder black paint scheme with yellow and red stripes moving towards the top. Soon, the Sunset Gulch line faced a problem. The Blacktooth line was now focusing on a fleet of aging ALCO locomotives, and soon raised prices for the Gulch's coal shipments. The newly renamed Hankrail, a primarily lumber and mixed freight hauler, soon stepped forward to the utility companies and offered to do a much more competitive rate. They eventually won the contract and negotiated with Blacktooth Lines to interchange modern SD40-2 locomotives from Electromotive Division, putting an end to the ALCO trackage rights rules from many years before. The success was very beneficial to Hankrail, and pushed them further into the 1990s and early 2000s with a mix of used locomotives from different roads. However, they kept the original 4 locomotives they started with inside the yards where rail fans soon flocked to. However, this soon began the downhill grade of their problems. After the tragic events of September 11th, rail fans were chased off for security reasons, as utility companies were high on Homeland Security's threat list. The railfan community soon began to despise the name Hankrail, giving them a bad PR reputation. Further problems came from the recession of 2008, which closed down a lot of the industries along the tracks, other than the power companies they served. As all good things must come to an end, Hankrail's business owner's smart decision turned bankrupt through a series of bad decisions and circumstances. The only traces left on the road would come from the patched units serving other railroads and occasional boxcars and coal cars that were left. However, the railroad still strolls through in the hearts of its employees and the minds of rail fans eager to see their interesting operations.